Hello and welcome once again to The Old Man Speaks. I'm Joshua. I come to you about 3 times a week and talk to you for about 5 minutes. Topic today, clothing. Usually I just leave some clothes by my mattress, and when I wake up in the morning, I usually have to get dressed pretty quickly because the dog needs to go out. Put on those clothes and don't think much more about it. Usually I'll grab this cap so people can tell who I am. Nowadays, with everybody wearing masks, they can still know who I am by the cap. People say, "Hey Josh, how you doing?" I'll say, good to see you." And then I'll think, who the heck is behind that mask? I took a course with this gentleman who had come in dressed totally differently every single day. And he told us that he'd start his day by going into his walk-in closet where he had all sorts of different types of clothes and shoes. And he would look out the window and consider the day and consider how he felt and consider his choices for the day. It was a big thing for him to dress as he felt. It was almost like an artistic expression. He loved shopping for different clothes and he loved wearing different clothes. But I never did see him wear a tuxedo. Now, tuxedos I associate, maybe wrongly, with eccentric individuals. My father would speak of this gentleman in Connecticut where we used to live, and he said that he would paint his entire house. It was a big wood house with a lot of painting that needed to be done every couple of years. And he very much preached the idea that you should not paint with anything but a fine brush, your paint, and a ladder. No rollers, no tape around where you wanted to paint. That was not the way. And you should not get paint anywhere but on the exact spot that you intend to put the paint. To dramatize this idea to the neighbors and to the world, he would put on a tuxedo, and he would paint his house for hours and hours and never get a drop of paint on that tuxedo. When I was in high school, we had a music theory teacher. He also taught band, and he played the horn. Had a couple of gigs sometimes at night, and he needed a job during the day, so these days he was teaching this high school. But before that job, he told us he was a trash collector. And it was pretty good for him, he said. He earned good money. He would wake up at 4:30 in the morning. He would go out, work till early afternoon, and then be done. And after he was collecting all this trash, he would take off his overalls, throw them in the hamper, then go freshen up, take a good long shower, come out, and put on his tuxedo. He would grab a fine glass of wine. He would maybe get a really good cigar, put on some fine concert music, sit in his favorite chair, and say, "Ah, this is the life of a gentleman." When I used to be involved in home care, there was this client who would wake up early every day. He would freshen up and put on a tuxedo with the classic black bow tie. And this is the way he dressed every day of his life. There used to be a man who I talked to in congregation, the late Harry Glaser, who had a profound effect on the way that I view the world. He told me that when he was very young, he used to notice that people who dressed well did well and had a very good outlook on the world. So when he got out of school, his first job was in a clothing store, and he learned all he could about the business and about clothing, and eventually he opened his own store. He felt it was his mission in life to give people that confidence, to make people feel good about themselves by the clothing that they wore, where they could purchase fine suits, finely fit, for prices they could afford. And he did very well with that. I think about him sometimes, and I think, maybe I should start getting some good clothes. Until next time, have a great week.